Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Eternal Warriors Replays, brought to you by Sun Pro Domino. In this replay, we have Remillexis again. He's platooned with two other members. We have Remillexis in the Tier 7 Polish heavy tank, the 45 TP. We have Darth Vendar in the premium German heavy tank, the VK4503, and we have Squirt Gunner in the Tier 7 French wheeled light tank, the EBR Hotch. Squirt Gunner is going to try to go up to the top of this hill as he should, but he's going to succumb to something that typically happens, or not typically, but it happens on mines, and he is going to come to a unfortunate demise at the very, very beginning of this game because he did not have the support that he needed on the hill. Sometimes you get it and sometimes you don't. But the two medium tanks and the light tank that were on his team that would have gone up on the hill decided to just take cover in the F5 area. So he gets to fight another day, but he's definitely probably very frustrated about this whole situation. So sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. And we're just going to see how the other two platoon members do in this game. Now, I'm just going to give a little bit of a spoiler. Remillexis is going to have a pretty decent game here. No doubts there. But it's actually not Remillexis who is the star of this game. It is going to be Darth Vendar. And you'll see that in post-battle results. So mines. What can we say about mines? Well, there's three areas of attack. Right, middle, and left. Middle is typically where the heavies go, or to the right-hand side into the city, which is what Remillexis and Darth Vendar have decided to do. A lot of the medium and light tanks also have a tendency to take the beach, which is on the left-hand side, and as you can see, the enemy team have done that and created a concave against Remillexis' team, which is going to be very, very unfortunate because they are going to have flanking shots against all of the tanks that have been trying to either go to the middle or come over to the right-hand side, and those tank destroyers are also going to come into flanking fire as well. And because of this, they're going to lose a lot of tanks at the very beginning of this match, and the AMX-12T has already said, horrible team, I'm out of here. Well, you know, he died too, so you can imagine why he has a little bit of frustration there. But you know, sometimes you have to ignore this level of toxicity because, well, it's never over. And so long as you have some kind of a plan in mind, you could turn a game like this around. Now, it seems like a plan is formulating between Darth Vendar and Remillexis and some of the people on his team. Unfortunate that Remillexis missed that shot in the IS-2 because it had the chance to finish him off. But they are deciding that instead of trying to deal with the couple of tanks that they were trying to deal with up north, they are going to turn around and they're going to try to deal with the tanks that were coming from the beach. And I feel like this is a very wise decision because all of a sudden the tanks that would have been flanking these guys on the right hand side are now getting flanked because they have the tank destroyer, the Dicker Max especially, trying to get shots in. And then you also have the Remillexis and Darth Vendar here also taking some very, very good shots. And I think that was the second bounce on the Panther M10 for Remillexis, which is very, very unfortunate because, well, that tank isn't too heavily armored. But he gets a really good shot against a T-34-85, and they're going to do a really good job cleaning all this up. I think that IS-2 just didn't want to play anymore. I think he was just trying to jump onto Remillexis' tank, but it didn't really work out for him there. There's always a lot of interesting things that happen in this game, right? T-29 kind of pulls up out of nowhere, and Darth Vendar takes a snapshot, and that AMD 178B on the enemy team also falls to his demise from the middle. Yeah, I feel like the enemy team are getting a little too overconfident about their position because the game is now tied. And all Remillexis and Darth Vendar have to do is take out this Tiger P. Now, the Tiger P is a tank that you don't want to auto-aim at because it has horrible armor at the bottom and horrible armor at the upper part of the plate, but the middle plate is 200 millimeters of armor. Now the M12 takes out the Tiger P, and with that, Remillexis' team is now in the lead. And they came from a butchering at the beginning of the game, 0-5, and they turned it around, and well, now they're winning by two tanks. Now, once again, as I stated in the beginning, it's never over until it's over, and so you can't just assume and become overconfident like the enemy team did that you have the advantage here. You have to be very, very careful. There are two very dangerous tanks still alive on the enemy team, as well as those artillery units. The KV-2 can one-shot a lot of the people on Remillexis' team, and he just does do that against the E-25. And Darth Vendar decides that tank definitely needs to die. Tries to get up into a good position to try to take some shots against that KV-2, as well as the Panther M10 on Remillexis' team. And Darth Vendar does get the shot on the KV-2. All they have to deal with now is the Hellcat. Now, if I were the Hellcat, I would be where the artillery units were trying to defend them. You know, they're not always going to be where we think they are. And Darth Vendar thinks that that's where he is, I should say, and he pops up over there at the beach, which, I mean, it's a good position because it caught everybody off by surprise, but let's just be honest here. What was he even doing over there? There weren't any enemy tanks that he had the opportunity to shoot at. So, you know, why is he just kind of sitting over there at that flank? Unless he was already part of that group that came from the beach and was trying to get the flanking shots on Remillexis' team, found all his friends dying and decided, screw it, I'm going home. And just decided to camp out in that middle plateau area, which was Darth Vendar's demise. He got taken out by that Hellcat, but not after he got 3 kills and a significant amount of damage. Now, once again, if I were that Hellcat, I would get out of there. I'm fast enough. I can rush down to the south end or even to the north and get into a different position without anybody really spotting me. But we'll just see what this Hellcat decides to do in the end. M44 is coming up very, very aggressively, and I don't know if this is a very, very good idea, because that Hellcat could very well be alive and still sitting in that position. He's not been spotted yet, and there he goes. Hellcat takes out the M44, but he reveals himself to Remillexis. Remillexis, all he has to do is to get a really, really good, nice shot if he tries to take cover somewhere else, and there you have it. Remillexis gets the last shot on the tank, and it is a victory for Remillexis platoon on a game that could have been very, very different. And there you have it, a victory on mines with a Class 2 Mastery badge for Remillexis, and he got 1,635 damage done and killed 4 enemy tanks with 1,046, I should say, assistance damage. But the MVP of this game was Darth Vendar with 3,551 damage done with 1,345 base experience points, which is excellent. That was definitely a mastery badge with Darth Vendar. And he shot 18 shots, and out of his 18 shots were 16 direct hits and 16 penetrations. Very accurate in this game. And he also had 1,536 spotting. So this is a very, very good game for him. But this game just goes to show you that you may be losing pretty significantly, but never assume that it's over. You know, yes, the enemy team was up by 5 tanks, but if you notice on Remillexis' team, there was only 1 tank on Remillexis' team that actually didn't do any damage whatsoever, that KV-2. And that means that all the enemy tanks had to have taken some damage at some given point in time, and if they're low health tanks and you got tanks like the 45 TP and the Panther M10 and the VK4503, these are very, very good either high DPS tanks or high hitting or, you know, high alpha damage tanks. Could very easily take out a lot of those low health vehicles, and that's basically what happened. Those enemy tanks that came from the beach, they came and swarmed in, had a lot of confidence, in their numbers and just wanted to try to get as many kills as they could, and lemming trained themselves right into incoming fire from Remillexis and Darth Vendar, and they were able to cover that flank incredibly well. So props to them. This was a great game, and I really hope you guys send me some more of your replays. I promise to not always try to do Remillexis' replays, but let's just be honest, he's the only one sending them in at the moment. So any of you guys got some really good replays, please send them in. I want to give a special shout out actually to Squirt Gunner. He was actually in our clan for a pretty long time, and he's a really, really good friend. But the thing that I love about him is he does have some tendencies to go an unconventional games, unconventional style, so to speak. He will use his light tanks to do something that not a lot of people would think of, and it's a high risk, high reward kind of style. It's not that he can't be passive scouts and whatnot. It's not like he can't do that kind of stuff. But I've seen him in many moments do something where I'm like, what is he doing? And it works out for him, and it's really phenomenal. And I want to get one of those replays. So, Squirt Gunner, send me one of your good replays, man, because I know you're going to have a good one. And Darth Vendar, congratulations. This was a very, very good game for you guys. And that's it for today. Take care, guys. And I look forward to seeing you at the next replay.